All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. All right, so that we don't waste too much time. Those online, hope you can hear me. The first few minutes, I want you guys to be able to do this in the next, let's say, 10 minutes, 5 10 minutes. So what we're going to do is we can see what we had from last class. I want you guys to populate this with 20 names. I want 20 names. And I want different departments ranging from nothing more than IT department, HR, sorry, HR, um, marketing, accounting. All right, so making use of these four departments, populate this table with 20 names and then departments. Now, making sure that you're using custom lists. All right, so just create a custom list for the departments so that you just keep dragging it down and then it replicates. Then make a custom list of 20 names and impute it there. That's based on what we learned last class. So I'm giving everyone 10 minutes to be able to do that. So please start. Those online, hope you hear what I said. And please mute your mic. Those who I show up, you're not here. You're seated here now. You were seated. Exactly. Let me pardon it a bit. So basically, I said populate this table we had from last class, but with 20 names, and then use just these four departments and fill it up. But making use of custom lists that we learned last class. So 10 minutes. Should even be less than 10 minutes, but let's see, 10 minutes. 5 minutes. Uh, you done? Alpha? Almost. Okay. Hmm? I didn't hear you. I still can't hear you. What did you say? I said ITHR, this one. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4. This four. Hello, those online, are you with us? Who has been able to finish up? Hello, can you hear me online? Okay, Favor, have you been able to finish what I said you guys should do? No, no, no. I just did name repeating Favor. I said go to the custom list that, like we created a custom list last time. Go to the custom list and now input 20 names rather than 5 that we created last time, and then use that in your table. Do you understand? And then I said make use of the 4 departments written here: IT, HR, marketing, and accounting, and distribute them amongst the names that you put in. So that's what I said you should do. So if you drag it down, you definitely go to be repeating. Did you guys hear me? Did you hear what I said? So when you create name, we do control plus shift. When you when you do control, when you click on control as you drag down, you are that is for numerical, not for names. For names, you just take your cursor to the, if you can see my screen, Favor, take your cursor to this part for names. Once you write the first name or any name on your custom list, write it down, go to this tick part, it turns black, then you drag it down. You drag it down. You don't need to click on plus. Plus sign is when you're doing numerical summation. It's almost time. We have like 2 minutes left. How many of us are done? Are you done? You don't know what's going on. You didn't ask me, no? Did you ask me? Did you ask me? Tough. And you have not asked me yet. So you've not, you've not. So you are done. Man of God, are you done? Eh? You just was your voice is not passing that chair. Uh, okay. So what exactly has happened? Okay. Um, Frontier, how about? Are you done? Done. There's a way you can go to plus this thing to add it. I don't even understand what you just said. Yeah, that's why I gave you a task for like 10 minutes. It's supposed to be a 5 minute task. You're supposed to use everything you've learned to make it happen quicker. You forgot what we did. No, that's the core of the matter. No, 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 favor. It's not shift though. Just have you created favor? First answer this. Have you created the custom list? Good. Now, have you imputed any name on the list first? Have you done that? Good. Now you're not hitting on shift. All you are doing now is taking your cursor to this thick part of the cell till it turns black like this. Click and then drag down, and you'll see all the names appear. So leave shift. Shift is for highlighting cells. Have you tried it? So for those who are still confused, I'm disappointed they are confused, but it's okay. Lord is your spinal cord. Um, do you get what I said they should do? I said populate the table we did last class with 20 names, but do that to your custom list. Do you understand? You don't know where to get. Hey, morning. Wait, you're my PA, Abby. Uh-huh. I remember your face. Um. All right. So, are we together? The Lord be with you. Done it. Thanks. Okay, that's fine. So I just went to populate it this way, but so basically, what I wanted you guys to do. Are we together? Are we together? Please let's look up. Whether you understood it, you got it, or you didn't get it, let's do it together. No, I'm not going to wait for you. I'm just going to do it. All right. So this is what we're looking at. Take note. What we're also trying to do is the speed of delivery. All right. As much as an analyst, you're also increasing your efficiency. So a task given to you and your colleague who probably has zero experience in certain things, he has not taken these classes, has not gone through these trainings. It's going to take a longer time than you. So you are delivering like this, right? And you're showing your boss that you're efficient, you understand, and you deliver quickly. So with that, when you want to do something, please look up now. It's not now you'll be looking for it. Though. Now, what you are simply doing here is, let me take this out. Those online, please follow. I will do that fast because we did last class. So basically, we already know that we can just add this, right, to get to 20, 120, right? So hold control, drag down till I see the number 20. That part is done. Okay, good. That part is done. The next is these names. I simply do what? Go here, advanced, down to general, edit custom list. I already have a list here. I can begin to edit this particular list. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11. All right, so I've populated the list I had before. Say add and okay. Can you guys see? Okay, good. So now, what I simply did was I added more names to the one that you're not with me. You are not with me. What I simply did was I added more names to the list I already had before. I had 5, so I added 15 more names. So now I can just still use that same thing and I drag it down and I populate it. Okay. Now at this point, I simply wanted to use, or rather, I simply want to use these 4 names. I don't have the time to now do randomly. Are we together? All I do is highlight the first 4, do that same thing, click here, drag down. It's going to populate it accordingly. And this was done in how many minutes? Are we together? Are we together? Calculate how long it took you, calculate how long it took me. Do you get? That's the efficiency that we're talking about. You are able to now do these things at lightning speed, so you're delivering a lot. As an analyst, yes, you'll be doing a lot more on huge data sets, but cleaning, populating different things take time and days. So if you're unable to do these things like this, you're going to just be extending your time, your delivery time. And the shorter your delivery time, the more you can do. Are we together? And a lot of times, by not just working for a company, you usually do freelance. All right. And the more jobs you can handle, the more money you can make. All right. So I believe we all understand this part and we're done with this. We can now begin today's class. You have a question? Okay. People of God on that side, how far? You're far. So among the 3 of you, all of you are far. You're close. So you can direct them. Kind of. Okay. Fine. Do you have a system? No, it's you. It's you. You. Yes, yes. You don't have. Okay, you already. You don't understand though. Go to this side so that you're with her. I need you in front of the system. Be with her. So call this other side. Yeah. I'll prefer that so that we're fully together. Okay, so I should I hope I can believe that you all, or I can say that you all have this data that I have, but not exactly the names, right? Good. So we're going to run through certain things: editing, filtering, and creating tables, which confuse some people a lot of times because they're wondering, is this not a table already? Is it a table already? Huh? Why? Because what? I didn't hear you. There's no border. If you what? don't understand what you said, but I think you're getting towards what you need to say, but but it's fine. We'll get there. All right. So the next thing we need to also do now is we're going to do conditional formatting. We're going to do sort and filter, which automatically appears when you make this table. This is a table. But now, when you go here, I want us to highlight the whole table from top to bottom. Highlight. Without using your cursor, you can simply do what? Control Shift right and down. I hope I've not left those online. My online people, are you with me? I hope I've not left you guys. Okay, good. Thank you, Favor. All right, so um, uh, okay. Some people say I've left them. Some people say we're together. What am I going to now? Let's go together though. If you joined late, you probably will be left. We would have will feel left behind, but you'll catch up. What we've done so far is what we simply did last class. We just added almost like a mini classwork to help with today's class. Okay. So now, what does sort do? What does filter do? Who has an idea? Sort. What does sort do? Quickly, quickly. All right, good. Sort arranges alphabetically, whether what ascending or descending. Then filter does what? You are not with me, oh. Filter does what? Your voice is not passing here. Eh? In groups. Okay. Okay, with filter, you can select a specific data and then it will be grouped based on that. Is that what you want to say? All right, so let's go through filtering, sort and filter. So if you highlight, like I've said, you click on filter, right? Are we together? Good. When you click on filter, you have this amazing guys here. Okay. And then let's say want to filter. No, this is why I wanted us to do the department. We want to filter and see just the IT people in IT. Are we together? Is this what I did? Let me increase the screen actually. I didn't want to increase it initially because all right, so let's go over that again. So I said, all right, so I've removed the filter. So those online and everybody here, please follow me. Let's look up. Now you look at your data sets, all right, and then all you need to do now is for those who don't want to use the keyboard, the mouse to just do this and drag down. Okay, this you're highlighting. You can simply click on the first cell, touch your hold your control and shift, right arrow and down arrow. That highlights it. Are we together? Are we together? All right, good. So that's one. Then the next thing is want to implement filter. Under the home tab, go to the extreme right. You will see sort and filter here. Click on the drop down. All right, are we here? Good. Now click on filter right here. Okay. Now let's be breaking down. I know that we're not dealing with a very large data set and all of that, but all these things are going to be used when you want to work with data sets, right? Now, when you want to start analyzing your data, the first thing is to what? To find out. Yes, ma'am. So the first thing is for you to find out if there are any null values, repeated data that are unnecessary, dirty data, right? And how do you do that? If you have a million rows, how do you now begin to check what is missing, what is not missing? Obviously, you cannot scroll down. You obviously cannot scroll down. Are we together? So one of the key things you do if your data just came out raw is you implement filter. Okay. Why do you do that? When you click here, okay, you are able to see even if they are repeated. For example, let me take out this is what I should use. IT is repeated several times, but it's appearing here once. All right. Are we together? Why? Because it's going to show you unique data. Okay. Then you can now look at it. I worked on data where the errors they had is under state. You had wrong spelling of Lagos. All right. Maybe because of how quickly they were inputting the data. You had Lagos, you had logos, but you could tell that it's Lagos this person wants to talk about, right? Then you now had Lagos State. Are we together? Now that does not sound like it's a problem, but that's a problem. It's a problem for when you want to analyze. Because when you begin to analyze, your analysis is going to show Lagos separate, Lagos separate, Lagos State separate. Do you understand? Then you are getting figures for these different as different states, whereby they're one state. So that's part of your cleaning process. All right. So the first thing you do is you go through them. So right here, you will see it appear. Okay. You will definitely see it appear. Then you use functions to edit them. Are we together? I hope we're together. Let me not leave the people online. Okay. Nothing there. All right. So that's one of the reasons why you do what? You do your sort and filter. All right. So let's assume we all have IT, right? We want to change IT from IT to what? Tech team. All right? Tech team. Now, if we wanted to change it to tech team, we'll first look at it. Okay, in our documentation, they actually didn't call it IT. They call them tech team. Okay, so that means the stakeholders I'm going to be explaining to what they know is what tech team. If I change the nomenclature, I will be explaining too much in the board meeting. Sorry, sirs. Please, anywhere you see IT is tech team that you used to know. That's unnecessary. Are we together? That's very unnecessary for them because they don't have that time to start brainstorm. All they want to know is results. What's the final take on each thing? Okay. So with that, we want to now change IT to tech team. How do we do that? There's a function we call find and replace. Okay. There's one we call find. Then there's find and replace. But they work together. And that's what control F. So when you click on control F, that's what find. Automatically, you don't need to control H is find and replace. So that means if you do F, it just shows you this. If you do control H, it shows you this particular part. But they are together. Are we together? They are together. Now, when you're just looking for a particular thing, just to be sure it's in your data set, you can use find. Do you understand? Just look for this person. So let's say we had a particular name. I have name here, Toby. So, all right. So if I say find, so I say find next, it takes me to Toby. It scrolls down to that area. Are we together? So that's if you are looking at a large data set. Now, this is not when you need to report a particular thing. Maybe just a certain information that does not need you to print anything. You need to just find it. Are we together? you just look for it here. Let's say they say, make sure that in that data set, this is there. Do you understand? You can just come, open the data set, look for that particular thing, and then it just goes down. If it's more than one, you say find next. If it does not go anywhere, then that means just a single one. Open it together. Anybody lost yet? Huh? Anybody lost yet? I heard yes. I say it again. Anybody lost yet? Nobody. Thank you. Let's go. All right. So want to do what? Find and replace. So we want to do. So we click on replace, right? What do we write here? We do what? IT, right? They want to change it to what? Please, nobody should tell me that it happened like magic. Follow me. All right, so we have what? Tech team. Okay. When I do what? You have options. If you are replacing just a single one, okay? Are we together, please? Let's get the mechanism. So if you are replacing a single one, you do replace. And before you do that replace, you tell it find next. So it's close to that particular one you're talking about. So if I do find next, right? It has highlighted, sorry, find next. It has highlighted this guy, this first IT. Okay? So if I do replace alone, it's going to replace just this IT. Are we together? So sometimes you may not want to change everything depending on what you are trying to work with. Are we together? You say, okay, where it appears here is the only part I want to change. Then I'll do the general changes for the rest. Good morning. All right. Do you understand? So let's try that first. We've selected this first one, right? When we click on replace, can we see how it happened immediately? Are we together? But the other ITs are still there. Let's do that. Just replace one, the first one. So if I do what? Find next. If you highlight that particular one, then you click on replace. Just replace. So the recording of last time was not sent to the group. Yeah, it was sent. Okay. Who is this person? I don't want to destroy your name. Please, the recording was sent. That's the feedback I've gotten. Sorry, did you guys get the recording for last class? Hello? Did you guys get the recording for last class? Yes. Okay. So it was sent to the group, I believe. So probably you have to check. Did some people just join the class, the group? Because two people have said the same thing. Another just sent the recording. Okay, so for those who haven't gotten the recording or haven't seen it, after today's class, they'll send both today's one and last week's recording. All right, so don't panic. It will be sent to the group, both last week and today's one. All right, I believe we've all done that, right? Wow, have we done that? Good. Now we want to replace all of them, right? You see, it's still there. So all we have to do is what? Replace all. We don't need to find next. We find next when you are trying to find the position of the particular one you want to change. Okay, but replace all with just everything. So if I click on replace all, it will tell this. It will pop up and say, "We're all done. We made 5 replacements." So that even tells you how many of them exist. Are we together? All of this is supposed to make your work as efficient as possible, speed and accuracy, making sure that whatever you do, you are not going to, you're not going to be having issues with data integrity. I hope you understand what that means. Data integrity, right, is one of the core things in data management and anything about data. The integrity of your data. That is across board, right? It should be the same thing. Are we together? Across board, it should be the same thing, and the authenticity. Whatever is changed is properly changed. It means you understand. So everything, if it's numbers, you're putting the accurate number. Okay. If you say Adamu is 6 feet tall, right? Every every time you see Adamu in all of the data sets, it should be 6 feet. You understand? So I don't want to see Adamu in this table as 6'2", and Adamu in another table is 6'1". Adamu somewhere else is now 5'9", and we now trace it's the same Adamu. I don't know whether his height is fluctuating, but so let's not do that. Do you understand? So when you're doing what? When you're cleaning your data, these are ways you clean. So when you see the redundancy, so like I said, when I give you the example of Lagos, right? You simply begin to pick each one of them. But you now see, remember, because of find and replace, you have to type in the exact word it's looking for. All right. And where do you get that from? It's from your filter. Okay. You've seen what the wrong word is. All right. But take note. You know, I mentioned pattern. Taking note of patterns. Okay. So it's not that I saw a data set and I said I assumed that Logos is Lagos. All right. That's not what I did. It is that that column was a state column. All right. I don't know any other states that has lo or la in it at the beginning. Do you understand? So it's obvious for me to now say this is definitely Lagos. Then I made that change. I'm saying this because I'm not giving you the full right to go and change somebody's data to how you feel. Are we together? There will be so in a standard place, you actually have a structure. They give you like a document where you see what each column means. All right, what it is about, number of tables. There's an ER representation of all of those things. That usually is what a new employee gets to see, so that you don't go make mistakes and changing things by yourself. All right. Under it, you see things like, okay, list of states that we have in our data set. This states. These 5 states among the 36 states. So you don't go assuming that a wrong data set that was imputed is a different state apart from these 5. All right, that will be mentioned to you. Are we together? And if you are new in a place, try your best to not keep quiet. Your first month, ask as many questions as possible. All right, because a simple mistake, don't guess. Your job is not to guess. Your position is a position that deals with what? Facts. Proven facts. Facts that can be backed up. Are we together? So whenever you say this is this, you have to be able to back it up. All right? So any change you make to the system or analysis they give you to do, you need to be sure it's the right thing. So sit with your superior, get your questions together. Sorry, sir. Why did they add this together? All right? Based on what you know, you should be adding this other thing. But you see that they're adding this. You don't want to now automatically switch it that they got the formula wrong. Are we together? You get to what? Ask them why. Then they tell you the reason, then you know what you're implementing. Probably it's the final name of the result that was wrong. That's what gave you the idea that that formula was wrong. But the formula was correct. It's just how they named the final result that was wrong, and that's what you need to change. But you now going forward and being, let me not say a fico, but very active, and you want to do things, you now go and change something that is so relevant. You end up meeting sack letter in first week of work. Hope we are together, because I emphasize this with all my students rather. First of all, you usually are working in a team. All right? Your mess up is going to mess up the third person's final result. All right? You may not be doing everything. Well, you're in Nigeria, you're doing everything. But in a proper team, you may not be doing everything. All right? Someone might clean. When he's done cleaning the data, he gives it to the next person. Are we together? That person puts together calculations, statistical analysis, then passes the result to another person. The person now builds a dashboard and implements all the charts and all of that. That's a team. Okay? If the person cleaning messed up, that dashboard is a useless dashboard. It might be as beautiful as possible, but the result on that dashboard is rubbish. All right? And then when they trace it, they'll actually say the team messed up, but it was one person that made a huge mistake by not cleaning the data properly. Are we together? Let's move. So hope we get so far with what we've been talking about. Did someone call me? And the automatic is what I've shown you, which is find and replace. So you're not going to go and look for it. So the first thing, answering your question, the first thing is you saw the errors through your filter. All right. So in the filter, you get to see how many things you are changing. Like when I said that logos on the rest, there were about 4 different wrong spellings of Lagos. All right. Then I had to start tackling them one after the other. Obviously, I've seen the spelling from here. I'll just copy it and type it in the find, then replace it with Lagos. Then look for the next and do the same thing. Do you get? So that's it. That's why cleaning, you take your time. You don't rush, but you have to be as precise as possible. Yes, I can't hear you. Yes.
Sorry, the Lagos you are talking about, I can't see it in this stuff.
Sorry. The person online, give me a second. Someone's asking a question. I'll get to you. Sorry. Yeah. When you say names, first of all, I have no concern with someone's biological name. Let's start with that. I have zero concern. If you like, put 25 Z's in your name. It's your very big business. All right. So depending on the company and what we deal with, do you understand? Because now there are things that are necessary and there are things that are not necessary. All right. If at the end of the day in my analysis, I'm not going to mention a name. I don't know if you understand. Let's say it's a team name. Okay. If that analysis I'm running is not going to mention the top salesperson in the team, okay, I really care less about your name. All right. If it's general where I'm just picking at random, we did like last time I talked about hospital, right? So we'll get data from there. Now we're not going to necessarily use those people's names to do anything, but we can identify that this is somebody's name. Okay. Then I will be able to say there's no problem. I'm not going to check their names. Except the data now tells me, or no, the instruction is we should not have 2 people with the same name. We should make sure that there's no duplicate data. All right. We'll just search so many things. Now, in the case where it's a team and the name has to be accurate, all right, there's a tendency I already have a template or a written list of their actual names. If I come to this place, I can briefly look through. Are you with me? I can briefly look through. It's better to look through my filter than for me to do this because I don't know the number of rows. Do you get? So from here, I'll just look through. Okay, this person is here, this person is here, this person is here, and that's it. Are we fine? Okay. Any other question? So sorry, someone online you asked me a question. You can ask now.
Yes, thank you. You're mentioning Lagos, Lagos, Lagos. I can't see Lagos in this stuff. I just
I can't hear you
like
very
when I
well.
came in. I said when I came in, you were mentioning Lagos when trying to talk about the data cleaning. So now,
Okay.
but I can't see the Lagos you're talking about. And
No.
the
I didn't. It's not here. I was giving an example of an analysis I had done, and that when trying to clean the data, right, using filter. Are you with me? Using filter,
yes,
yes, using filter, I got to see that it was a state column. Then and I was now saying things like there was Lagos State, there was Lagos, then there was Logos.
okay,
Good.
okay,
And then from there I could detect and I began to what clean that part to make sure that they were
okay.
all just one, just Lagos. So that's what I meant by yeah. All right, no problem. All right, let's continue. Okay, so we've been able to. Are we together? You can see the small guy filter actually has a lot more to do than just eliminate certain things. I know we all know that you can do this, where we want to just see tech team. We click on just tech team and say, okay, we'll see this. I know most people know that this can happen. Are we together? Are we together? Good. This is how you're able to check certain data. So you can filter and just view it based on this. That's when you check it out. Then what does sort do for you? Arranges what in alphabetical order, right? Good. So if we wanted to arrange our names in alphabetical order, we just do what? Come here and click on A to Z, and it arranges it in alphabetical order. All right. Now, just to know that these things happen, that's why we're learning certain tricks. These things happen. I've arranged it in alphabetical order, right? And what happens to my numbers?
Scattered.
They are scattered, Abby. So, but now this is how I want to leave it. But do I need to leave my numbers this way? No, but this is how I want to leave it in alphabetical order. Okay? So what do you do? What do you do? It's not magic, it's what you have learned already. That's fantastic. Just you come here and do one now. And then this time, all I need to do is double click and fill. And I got my 20. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. So because I know when a list is given to you or a table is given to you and it's not in alphabetical order, but it is now needed to be in that order for you to continue work. Then when you are done, you now get to see that your numbers are scattered. Most people get frustrated. Most people who don't know how to do this get frustrated. Especially when the number is like from 100 up, you're like, oh my God. Oh my God. Do I start typing 1, 2, 3, 4? My God. So that frustrates a lot of people, and then they end up being unable to, they end up wasting time doing that. I hope we didn't waste time doing this part. Have we done this one to 20 successfully? All right. You done? Done? Okay, cool. All right, so we successfully done that. Now let's move up a bit. All right. Now I'm giving you guys the opportunity to give these people the salary of your choice. So let's give them salaries. Then we'll move to the next thing we need to do. Salaries. Now there's something that my previous that used to do or they do is by default. You people like to do this thing. It's called you do da 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 comma da da comma. You people put the comma yourselves. Why? So please don't put the comma yourself. Just put in a figure. Are we together? Are we together? If you have a comma, you have done it wrong. I don't want any comma. Oh, yeah, let's give them salaries quickly, quickly. 100K. Whatever you put there is what they will pay you. Don't go and put 20 million. No, calm down. All right, so are we fine? Huh? But you will type it. I chose not to. You will type. You will not do what I did. You will not do it. ah. Ah. Okay, so we're giving them salaries because we want to take care of another part that is key in not just being a skillful Excel user, but also an analyst. Are we all done? Salaries, 20 people is not much. Reduce your zeros. Don't be too greedy. The company has to make money. They give you for their profit. What do they make? Eh? Man of God, are you with us? But since you came, you have been on your own, no? But you've got it to where we are. All right. Okay, so are we ready? If you are ready, wave to the Lord. Let me just see your hand. Okay, okay, okay. My friend, how far? You ready now? The Powerpuff Girls. Yes, are we ready? We are not ready. Legends, are we ready? Are you where we are? Are you close? Okay. Powerpuff Girls. Okay, Powerpuff Girls are ready. All right. So now let's take care of something. Let's look up, please. Please, I beg you in the name of begging. Let's look up. Thank you. Now, another key thing you do in your analysis. Powerpuff Girls. Hello, hello, hello. If I'm not looking at me, then you say you did not hear me. Just pause for now. Sorry. Hello. Just pause for now and look up. All right. Now, remember we talked when we started looking at tabs, right? I spoke to you guys about General, this amazing guy here. This guy here, General. Are we together? Now, this is where you determine the data type of yourself. Now, what do you mean by data type? Who has an idea? Just speak out. Data type. Data type. Yeah. So the type of data. So is it that numeric? There are different types of numerical data. You have text. All right. Now, in these cells, if you look at them, when you've not determined the data type, by default, it's on general. Okay? It's on general. Now, when we highlight, I want all of us to highlight salary. All of salary, highlight it. Okay? Now, there are so many ways to handle this particular way, but let's just go straight to the straightforward. Now, you can choose currency or what? Accounting. The difference is really in the arrangement. Okay? Now, when you click on currency, you see it this way. The dollar sign is close to the number. If you click on accounting, the currency sign is right towards the end. Those who have done balance sheets, you understand why it looks this way. All right, you know how you see the currency. That's based on accounting. This is what you have. That's the option. But if you want just currency, this is it. Okay. But now I want to change it to naira. You are not any in dollars yet, and if you're any, I'm sorry, it's not insult. It's just and then you want to change it to naira. First of all, by default, you see that the commas have come in. Okay. So the reason why I say do not, by default, you want to do three comma is what are we trying to eliminate in your data? We said what we want to make sure we have data integrity. So we want to make sure everything is as accurate as possible. All right. So limit the amount of times you personally have to do things and increase the amount of time you are using the system to do those things. Are we together? That helps to increase your accuracy. The last time there was a student that ended up doing almost 4 commas for where they needed to just be 1 comma. Because when you're in a hurry and you have to impute all of that, are you able to count all the zeros accurately all the time? No. No. Do you understand? When you're copying from one place to the other, you won't have that time. So the tendency of you missing it at some point is very high. Are we together? Okay, so that's why it's good for the system to add the commas themselves. So in this case now, we have what? 2 decimal places. I don't want that. How do we reduce the decimal places? Up here. These zeros you see on top of each other. Here, just below the currency here. Are we there? So this is to increase, this is to reduce the decimal places. All right. One is to add decimal places, one is to remove. Have we done that? So we don't have the zeros. Good. Now let's go look for our money, our own currency. We go here, we come here, we go down to more number formats. Let me go back and do that again. Remember, you've still highlighted your salary. So you click this drop down, you go down to more number formats. Are we where I am? All right, good. Now you see symbol, right? Do you see symbol? Hello, do you all see symbol? Good. Click the drop down and then look for Igbo. Igbo, Hausa, whatever. Do you have that? Choose any one of them. That's why you see the Naira sign. Have we all done that? When you click on symbol, right, scroll down till you see Edo, Hausa, Fulani, Igbo. Choose any one of them. They all carry the Naira sign, Naira symbol. What's happened? You're lost. Where are you? Oh, just you come here to more number formats. Are you there? More number formats. Then go to symbol. Just click on the drop down symbol. Then scroll till you get to Edo, Fulani, and all of those things. Then choose any one of them. That's Naira symbol. Okay? Because I've seen cases where the person cannot change the symbol. He automatically does the analysis in dollars when the original analysis is in Naira. Do you understand? So some people don't really know where to, but that's not what I have to do. The point is now you know where to change it. All right. If you don't want dollar, you want pounds, whatever it is, you go to the symbol and you change it. Are we together? Good. Also, by default, you can also just change it here. But usually Nigeria does not appear here most times. It's the frequently used currencies that appear here. You see yen, you see dollar, you see euros, you see pounds. All right. So now we've been able to do what? To change it. Our time is moving well. So are we all here now? Let me check. Let me check my people online now. My people online, are we together or have we left you? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're together. I like that. I like that. It's not that everybody has said that they're with me, and then one person said I should do it again. All right. So for the sake of those online, someone wants us to run the currency again. So simply, once you highlight what you need, what you want to change, you click on this drop down at the top, currency. Since we've changed it to currency, then you go to more number formats. All right. Click on it to show you this window. Now you see symbol. Now, if you've not changed your currency, you should be seeing dollar sign here. So you click the drop down, and then you most likely will be at the top here. Good. So you scroll down till you see the Naira symbol. You see it in different ways. It doesn't matter which one you choose, whether Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, whatever. Just the symbol that matters. You click on it and you say, okay, it will appear here. Hope that's fine. All right. Now, want to do conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. What? The extension is off. You see, the extension is off. Wait, your extension is off and you were doing like this. You're doing what? You're trying to get his attention like that. Ah, fantastic. This one is still on. I mean, this is the chain reaction. One of them has. Is it back? All right. Okay, so conditional formatting, right? Are we together? Please, let's come back together. Please, I hope you guys did not go and put the exact same amount for everybody. All right, so conditional formatting, we're looking at, you can see up here, you see what? Highlight first, please. Highlight the salary, then come to what? Say conditional formatting at the top. Okay? When you click on it, now we can format in different ways, depending on what you're doing and what is needed. Okay? Okay? Are we together? All right, so now when we go to one of the simplest one, highlighting cell rules. Okay? Now you have to decide what rule is going to use follow to determine what. Now we say greater than. All right, so if we say currency above a certain amount should have a certain color. So want to know, let's first do a simple conditional format. Want to see those earning above 500K. All right, now those, this is greater than, those greater than, what color? I think light red was fine. Are we here together? All right, so want to see those earning above 500K. All right, and we've said when you put 500K here, you choose a color, you choose how you want it to look. You can format it, but for now, let's not format it. Let's just leave light red fill with dark text. We say okay. Me too, I did not say anything. No. It not show. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Something happened. The amount actually changed. My figures changed. Did your figures change? This one happened. Let's find out why our conditional format is not formatting. All right, so let me see what the issue is. Is it malfunctioning? You did it. Has it worked for anybody? It changed, have we? This system malfunctioning. Hmm. Is it bad belly people in this class that have bad belly for me? See, yeah, even online, it's working. Uncle Solomon. Ah, I will close. I have to close it. They're even laughing online. Sir. Hi, my life outside. Sorry, sir. You said it's showing my amount in dollars. It was showing in naira actually. Am I still sharing? Let me share now. Those online, please confirm. Can you see my screen? All right, cool. It was showing in naira. Oh. I don't. Huh? You said what? Oh, okay. If this thing does not work, then this class is over. I'm done. Yes, yes, because it shows that people don't want it. But yeah, you're cutting corners. All right. I think you're right. Because in reality, it was 1 million that was here. It changed to 3 million by itself. Magically. Someone powerful is here. All right. Let me try it with the dollar sign. See, there's actually a malfunction. Because I've not done anything, it has highlighted 3 million. Okay. Let's do. Let's do this. All right, I think it's working now. So probably at the end of the day, this is trying to say that it's not recognizing naira. Okay, so well, I'm now with you guys. Uh, we still need to find out why, but I'll find out why eventually. But let's move on. So with the rule we set up was what those greater than. Hmm. All right, at least I get that. I think it's the naira thing. Naira thing. All right, so now let's go. Conditional formatting. Highlight cell rules. Now you have greater than, less than, between, equal to. This is for texts that contain a certain thing. So when we say greater than, and we say, like I said, we want to know, sorry, we want to know the, want to know the number of employees currently employed that are earning above 500K. Okay? Now, uh, depending on what you are doing, please let's listen. Like I said, these are simple functions that are touching, but where they are applied, you just don't imagine that that's what they do. Okay? So, one of the quickest or easiest ways to use, or where you find them using this conditional formatting, is there was a data set I had to work with. They deal with like a store, right? Expired goods. Are we together? Expired and non-expired. Okay. Now, what do? They have the dates of expiration, right? And then once that date is beyond that date, that particular cell will turn red, whatever color. So if you go into their data set, wherever you see red, that good has expired. So if you follow through and see, we still have two, maybe two cartons of that goods. We cannot sell those two cartons. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. All right. So at the beginning, the cell is just white, it's plain. You have the figures and everything. There's nothing that changes. But as it exceeds that date, it does what? It changes. Same way you can also do it for inventory management. When a particular stuff is finished or when it's down to 10. Are you understanding? Like you work in ShopRite, you have the mango department, you have the orange, you have all of that. Now, once the store is down to 4 baskets, let it turn a certain color. All right. So the person managing that shit that does his work, he looks through. When he gets to that date where he says, "Oh, this particular stuff we have just 5," he begins to order. All right. This shaving stick, meat pie, this good flour, gari, rice. It's about to finish. So what do? In that period? It's red. They now will begin to place order. This is how companies roll. You don't know because you're not working there. You understand? But this is what happens. That's why we say we're helping your day-to-day activity. All right. You can go and join a small shop. All right. The shop is maybe booming. They have certain things. But how do you now maintain and manage what you have? Do you get? These are small skills that help you. It helps you to what maintain this thing. So you don't have to cram expiring dates. As you bought it from the main carton itself, you know this is what this has 6 months. All right. And then you have your spreadsheet. Once that 6 months elapsed, it turns red. When you are going through a spreadsheet, you can see that this is red. You look at what is red, you look at it, and then you have your change. And you make sure you don't go and sell expired goods to your customers. Are we together? So that's a place where these things are being used. All right. Now, most times in salary, you use conditional formattings like this particular one we'll use. When you see data bars, are we together? Data bars. Now, all the options here are just based on color and the rest. But data bars, once you click on one of them, it shows you everything in comparison, but now visually. Are we together? You can now tell visually that either this Ajadi guy that I have here is a ritualist, is the cousin of the owner of the company, or is the owner of the company. Because his salary in comparison to every other person is so the difference is huge. Are we together? The difference is quite huge. All right. So you use conditional formattings for one, the different scenarios I've just painted. All right. Two, you just want to look at your data and just get certain information. Are we together? So the person you're sending this data to does not really have time to go through all the actual numbers. He just wants to know who's earning more. Just look at it. Okay. Oh, this is the top guy. This. Oh, okay. Wow. This is how different it is from the rest. You understand? Minus me creating a whole chart to show this. Are we together? I don't want to show a whole chart to show who is earning more and all of those things. I can just use what? Data bars. Hope we're together. Okay, good. So next thing too is that you can create as many rules as possible. I will leave you to, we can't do that in the class, but I will leave you to play around with the formatting, right? You can create rules on the place to show different colors based on your conditions. But take note, the key thing here is, I don't want the people online to lose things. The key thing here is you are going to be doing these things based on certain conditions in the company or based on instructions. Are we together? There's one key thing. I wish I was. You guys are not taking that particular class. All right. So, but as you grow in your analysis, right, you learn that nobody's coming to tell you, I want, I want you to use conditional formatting to show me this on the table and send to me. You're not going to hear that. Do you understand? You're just going to hear something like, "Can you send me the table, but show me a graphical representation of and let me be able to see the difference in terms of what they earn." That's the English they'll speak. Oh. Now it is left to your expertise to now say, oh, I think this is the best way I can deliver this to you. Are we together? So nobody's going to tell you, clean that data, make sure you use find and replace. Clean that data, make sure you filter it. You're not going to be told all these things. You're simply going to be told, I want this in return. Now, use your medulla to give me the best you can. Because you also have to take note that there are also different ways. There are probably 5 to 6 ways to give a certain result. Are we together? There are 5 to 6 ways to give a certain result. You understanding the person you're working with, first of all, will determine what this person likes. You can meet a boss that likes charts, whether it can be simply shown in this way or not. He wants a chart. Then don't be a fickle and say, no, sir, I think this is better. No, your, your suspension is loading. And that's not what you want. All right. So you are dancing to the tune of your employer or your direct boss. And you're making sure that you're giving them what they can work with. All right. Remember, as an analyst, you're what? You're an interpreter. Are we together? So if the person speaking uses big grammar and you interpret it to the next person is now using the same big grammar. What have you interpreted? Do you understand? So, what's communication? Is when the person you're talking to actually understands what you're saying. It's not when you're talking. It's when what? Hello, you have to say it, everybody. It's when what? The person you understands what in analysis the same thing. It is when your result you are delivering, the person you're delivering to completely understands what your technical jargons. He understands it in what you've delivered. So you're not here to tell him you offset here to offset here to set here to no. We're able to analyze this particular data set and make it and seeing these redundancies, we're able to repair this. And with this, we have this. We found out that people from this place have this, people from this place. That's all you need to do. Summarize. They don't need to know how long it took you, whether it took you 5 years to analyze your business. So you are here to what? Simplify things and deliver it as quickly as possible. Are we together? In the basics that we're going to be working with, we're here to do what? Simplify things and deliver like this quicker than any other person that does not have the basic training. So are we good? All right. So there are several things in conditional formatting. I would like you guys to go through them yourselves, and then we can definitely have conversations or questions next class. Now, there's something I said that this is not yet a table, right? Are we together? So now let's make it a table. So highlight this, highlight, and then we go into insert. Highlight the table that is not yet a table, and then click on insert. Yeah, that's why I said table. Which one should we do first? I know. Let's pause on the highlighting table. Let's do one thing. I think we have time. Let's do one particular thing. Then we'll close with highlighting the table, changing it to a table. Now let's talk about referencing. Are we together? Good evening, sir. How's the family? All right. Now let's increase their salaries. Okay. I want us to do so. Now I want to touch formulas a bit, but we're not going deep into formulas. We're just going to. We're not going to touch formula, but we just do basic formulas because the goal here is to teach you references, right? And I can't do that without doing that. So I want to do basic like this plus this is equal to this. First and most important thing is to do anything in formula and calculations. The first thing you put in is what? The equal to symbol. All right. That is what tells the system you're about to do calculations. Equal to. Are we together? The equal to symbol shows you're about to do calculation. All right, now, if I want to increase everyone's salary by 20%, right? What will be the formula? Oh, sorry. Yes, yes. Let me consult the great online people, the great people of the online. Yes, if I want to do, yes, what will be the what will be the formula? If I want to increase their salary by 20%, what's the formula? And nobody online. Yes. Are you people not sure? Talk now, talk. Yes? Huh? is equal to, and calm down now, is equal to what? D2 times what? 20. I should use the percent symbol. Did I do this? Okay, that's all. Okay, so that is D2 times 20%. But this gives me the increment. I want the final, the new salary. Yes. You understand what? I want to increase their salaries by 20%. But I want to do that formula and see the new salary, not what I'm increasing it by. I don't know if you get. Equal to what? D2 plus what? D2 plus D2 times 20%. All right. Well done. That's one. So we have D2. We have formula D2 plus D2 times 20%. All right. And we also have, you have D2 plus D2 times 20%. Another simpler form is actually just what? D2 times 120%. So, okay, we're not yet to do math. So let's leave that part. Let, let's leave the math part. So we're basically doing, are we together? We're doing what? Hello, D2 times 120% is going to show you the increment of what? The 20% added with the original amount. Eh? Ah. Are we together? So first of all, I just need us to type this equal to, then click on, let me clear this. So everybody equal to, we're an we're what? Cell what? Where are we typing it in cell what? E2, good. So equal to, all right, so we have equal to, we now click on D2. It will show there. We can also type D2, okay? But like I said, we're trying to reduce the number of times we have to input things ourselves to make sure that we get accurate data. So you click on that, you see D2. Then your multiplication symbol, then you say what? We just say 120%, or whichever formula people choose to go with. All right, have we done this? Then we click on enter, that's all. D2 times 120%. Now, when you do that, I want to be sure everybody has done it before I move so that nobody gets lost. Online, have you been able to do that? So we're done. I know I said you guys will be doing magic now. Are we done? Are we done? Yeah? You're smiling. You did magic. Fantastic. All right. So now let's look what we talk about referencing, right? Are we together, please? No, I've not done anything now. Have you done the formula? Percent. Yes, that's all. That's all. D2 times 120%. That's what I said you should now. Yeah. Enter. Then click on enter. D2 times 120%. Are you there? Are we all there now? Are we all there now? Good. Now let's look up if we're there. D2, that's cell D2. You say what is D2? Chamaka, D2 is this cell. that were referenced. So we clicked on this cell, this particular one that has the first salary. That's D2. Yeah. All right. So now when we click, sorry, are we together? Ramomri, let's look up. Now, the same way we were doing that adding of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But this time it's going to do referencing for us. What does that mean? Because we have this here, we don't need to drag it down. Just double click. When it turns black, double click. If you have this hash symbol, just expand the cell. Are we together? Did you double click? Did it work? But you don't know what happened. Okay. Now let's see what happened. Let's look at this together. So when we talk about cell referencing, please let's look up. I will zoom in a bit so that you all can see it. All right, so when I double click here, you see D2. Are we together? Please look up. Please look up. Now, you see D2, right? Good. When you go to the next one, what do you see? D3. All right? Do you see? Good. Then when you go to the next one, what happens is D4. So what happened? As you dragged it down, it changed the cell numbers down. Okay? Now that's referencing, relative referencing. All right? We're dragging it down. So it changed it for us. Okay? Good. Now we've done that. It's very sweet. Now we want to now say, instead of me putting the percentage, let's look up carefully. By this cell beside it here, just here, type in 120%. Let's percent, sorry. 120%. There. Have we done that? 120% here. All right? Good. Now, instead of us typing 120 there, I want us to use this cell. All right? So when I click, sorry. Yeah, when I click here, I'll remove this and click on this cell. So it is what? D2 times F2. Okay? And I click enter, I have the same result. Let's do that. I've typed in 120% here. Okay? And I said what? D2 times F2. And it gave me the results, right? Right. Good. Have we all done that? Good. Now let's do exactly what we did before. Let's double click to drop down. And miracle, no they tire Jesus. You have what? Line, line, line. Do we all have the same thing? Eh? What do you have? You have results?
Can you repeat
You have
yourself?
results, show me. Yeah? What did you say? Someone said something online. I didn't hear that well.
Yes, please, sir. Can you
Yeah,
repeat yourself?
when you see Ash, sorry, I saw favor. When you see Ash, just increase the cell. Yeah, I didn't hear what you said. The person, it's not clear. Your voice is not very clear.
Please, can you repeat yourself? I didn't get the explanation.
Which part?
The one you just did now, the next, yes, from this 120%, column F.
Yeah, I said so. Type in 20% here. You know, it was written here before.
Yes.
It was 120% here before. Okay, good. So I'm saying clear this out and select this cell, F2.
Okay.
Click enter. Yeah. Then now the same thing we did before, drag it down or double click. You can really just double click and you get this result that we have right now of these lines. So are you there now?
Yes, thank you.
All right, good. Now, are we together? Eh? What is not there? You're left way behind. Where? You don't have this. You don't have line. I'm sorry. The people are looking at me. They want to beat me. I said, I'm sorry. Wait first. All right. So did you do F2? D2 times F2, right? Huh? Good. Now, the next thing is this. Even with your zero is what you have. We're using currency or accounting. When you click on that particular cell, when you double click, do you see anything? It's still the zero. Eh? Yes. Even that's so currency will give you zero, accounting will give you, that's an advantage. All right, so now this is what I want us to see. Now you see here D2 times what? F2. Okay, enter. The next one did what? D3 times what? So it was doing what? Was moving. Are we together? You guys are confused. Are we together? When you click, you see what? D4, F4. So what's happening is moving as we go down. Are we together? It's moving as we go down. See what I'm saying? When you click here, you see what? D2, F2, right? There's something here and there's something here. You multiplied it and gave us results. Okay? Then because we now reference it down, it did what? It continued moving. There's something here in D3, but there's nothing here in F3. So it was multiplied by nothing. So that's why it just gave us blank. Do you get me? Are we together? I would like you to look up so that whatever happens next, you don't say it's magic. Please look up. Now we want to tell the system, as you go down, right? Change cells in the D column. All right? But don't change cells in F column. Stay in cell F2. Are we together? That's what we want to tell the system now. And what do? You simply come here and we use what? The dollar sign. Now, dollar sign before the F is locking the column. Dollar sign before the number is locking the row. I repeat this. I know it's confusing. We thank God. But dollar sign before F is what? Locking the column. Dollar sign before the number is locking the row. Right now, we need to lock only what? The row, because we are moving what? Downwards. That's the reason I'm telling you, you can lock the cell, the column, you can lock the. Now, putting it on both of them is locking the cell. Are we together? So if I do this dollar, dollar, this is saying, do not move from this cell. So even if I was referencing to the right, okay, it is not going to leave this cell. So when I say enter and repeat what we did before, double click, I now have results. Are we together? So if I go now and double click this other page, I'll see what D3 and the F2 is still there. Okay. Next one, what? D6, F2 is still there. So I've said what? Make sure you don't move from this place. I want to use this guy to multiply all these other guys. Can we get there? Can we do that, everyone? Are we able to do that? What?
I'm going to be the president of Women Development Council, which is so just
Okay, to go to see. In that room. We're almost done now. We're almost done. Oh, here? Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Are we there? Do we understand clearly? The English. So let me show you. Showing you is where you understand the English. What? Sorry, I don't get. No, dollar symbol is for the formula here. Like the dollar above your 4, number 4 keys, that's shift 4. 4, yeah. That's dollar sign, I mean. It doesn't matter. The dollar sign now is a function. Yes. It's not the currency. It's a function. Because you use it in different formulas. All right. So what am I trying to say? Let me simplify this. Let me show you what I mean. So the same way we did this formula here, right? I'm sure if you've seen some accounting sheets, you see that sometimes they calculate this way. It's not always top to bottom. Good. So in that sense, if I was looking at, let me even do from here. So if I was looking at, okay, and I said, let's do this. All right, so let me do, oh, sorry. Welcome. Good morning. Morning. All right, so when you look at it now, I want to show you the reason why I said left, right, and all and column and all of that. So I can do a formula here where I say I say sorry, equal to this place, right? What is it? Multiplied by 120%. Okay? Do you understand? So that can happen here as well. Can happen this way. Not always top to bottom. This can happen this way. Good. Now, when it does that way, all right, now, what the other thing did we do again? Okay, then we now say we want to use here, right? We clear this and then we choose here. Okay? When I click enter and I do the same thing, it does this. But now I want you to see what changes. When you look this way, it is now, it's not, the row is the same. All right? It's still 2. It's still 2. All right? But now it's what? Column that is changing. G. And then H. Okay? Now, what I was trying to let you understand, let me go back here a bit briefly, is when you look at this formula now, I can do without this first one. Why? Because we are changing column. All right, so I said dollar sign before the number is what? Saying stay in this row. I'm not changing column. So with this, I can do this. If I do enter, it will give me results. The results are still there. Okay. This way now, if I do that, if I do the dollar sign for the row, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no change. Why? Because we're actually still on the same row. So in this particular scenario, we're dealing with what? The column. So here, I can do without putting dollar sign there. I can do it here in front of what? F. That's what? The column. So what does that say? It says stick to column F. Do you understand? So that's why I said, depending on where the dollar sign appears, it becomes before the alphabet. That means you are holding on to what? The column. And which means most likely what you are doing, you are going from column to column. All right. Then when you put it in front of the number, you're holding the row. So which means what you are most likely doing row to row, top to bottom, and all of that. Okay. But now, in a case where you might be doing any angle and you want to hold the cell itself, dollar, dollar, dollar symbol, dollar symbol. Do we understand? Do we get? Some people are their face. My God, they've ended the class with their face. Class has finished. Like, there's nothing from the back. Do you guys understand? Someone said she did not understand and she looked away. Where will you now understand? Did you follow through? Now look up again. The point here is when you see this without any of these things, if I say dollar G dollar 2, okay? Now this G represents what? The column, right? Good. This 2 represents what? Row. Good. Now we're saying that when we are running these formulas, take note. When we run it top to bottom, what is changing? The rows. Do you understand? Row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, good. That was changing. When we run it left to right, what's changing? Columns. All right, so you're moving A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Good. Now, when you run the formula and you now say, I want you to stay here because when I'm dragging down, it's changing. When you look at this guy, right, when we're going from top to bottom, you look here, we say we want D2 to change, but F2, we don't want it to change. But now, what is changing in F2? Is it F? No, it's just the 2, which is a row. So that means down, we'll be seeing F3, F4, F5. So now we say we want you to stay. So I don't need to hold the column because right now we're not changing columns. We're changing what? Rows. Are we together? So because we're changing rows, I'm simply doing what? Hooking number 2 to stay, which is what me putting dollar sign before 2. All right? Good. Now, in the sense where I'm now doing left to right, okay, what's changing? It's no more rows. The row remains the same. What changes now is column. So I'm seeing F, G, H, and so forth. In that case, all I need to hold is what? The column now. Do you understand? Good. So that's what we're doing here. But now, in a case where I may be doing so many things, I can hold the cell itself, that particular cell. And that's me putting dollar sign before the column and before the row. Do you understand now? Is that clear? Is that clear? Good. Now, why am I showing you all of this particular method? Is because most times you may not need to be putting in formulas that are going to be used over time. You're not going to be putting the actual numbers a lot of times. It's rather better to reference a cell. All right? Why? Because the next time we have an increment, all I need to do is change the percentage. So for example, now, just keep your eyes here. All right? Are we together? Keep your eyes here, because that's how magic is to happen. So if I do this and I click enter, it changed, right? Everything changed. Do you understand? So imagine I had like 100,000 rows. Do you get? I don't need to go and start changing what is written everywhere. I just need to do what? The particular cell that is referenced that I know can be changed over time. I change the figure and it takes effect in the formula. Do we understand? Do we get? Good. Next class, we're going to dive into formulas. But this one was just to show you referencing. So, any other question? It's right on your time. So let us do one thing. That's creating table. Is the last thing we wanted to do. So let's just call this So now, like I said, highlight what?
Laundry.
I've delivered the ice cream. I don't have any. I'm not going now. I'm not going now.
All right, so let's go. So we highlight all of this. Remember what I said, highlight it. Have we done that? Good. So we go to insert, right? And click on table. When you click on table, you should have a pop-up. Do you have this pop-up? Yeah, so now, are we together? Please let's listen. When you click on table, you have a pop-up. The pop-up, you will see, underneath you see, my table has headers. Okay, if it's not clicked, click on it. That simply means you already have table headers. That is the SN, name, department, and all of that. If you already have it in your data set, you say you acknowledge that yes, you do. Do you understand? By clicking here, good. So we click on OK, and it's now a table. All right. To even confirm all of that, you see, once you've done that, you should see table name one. You see table one here at the top right, top left, sorry. Do you all see this? Do you all see this? So you can change, you can now give it a name. Now you have a table. Sir? I don't already create my table now. So highlight it. Good. Go under insert tab. You see table. Click on table. You see a pop-up. You already have headers. So make sure that place is ticked. Is it ticked? Right? Then click OK. Then now you have table. All right? Eh? All right. So you can now name the table at your top left under design. Where did you lose? What happened? But I just repeated it like this. I just ran through it now. So what you now do? Highlight. Go to insert tab. Go to insert tab. You see table. Yeah. Click on table. There will be a pop-up. Make sure that that's my table headers. Do you have table headers? Make sure it's ticked. And then click OK. Then you have table now. Now you see under design, you see table name. Name your table. Just your top left. You see table name. I've named mine employee salary table. All right. No, you should have design. Do you have design open? Click on the table. Click anywhere on the table. You should have design pop up. Click on any cell on the table. Hmm? Do you see design at the top? At the top left, you see table name. Type in the name there. Now you have a table name. By default, when you create a table, it comes with with filter icons. It comes with filter by default. So it's not really just because you created filter that you see the filters there. It automatically comes with filter when you create a table. And with that, we come to the end of today's class. All right. You know, even the smile when you want us, you know. Those online, the recordings will be sent to you guys. Yeah. Do have a wonderful day.